morning on day 6 of the Cammino di Dante. I'm just about to leave Maradi. I spent the night in the tent last night, close to a little locanda. I had a very good meal there, and they were very kind and let me use all the facilities, including leaving part of the building open so that I could use the bathroom this morning. Very nice. You might notice that at the moment it's not raining. The forecast is supposed to be mild but cloudy. No rain other than showers forecast, but that is what they said 3 days ago, so we have to see. One of the things about the Cammino di Dante is when you're undertaking the walk, you actually register so that the organisation that runs it can keep a track on how many people are doing the walk. And yesterday evening I got a text message from one of the organisers basically saying that the next part of the route, which has already had problems with landslides, they actually have diversions in place at the moment as well. He messaged and said basically it's an absolute disaster zone after 3 days of the rain and the wind, and he's suggested another route to me that I should take today for the first 11 kilometres. Now, it does mean road walking, but the roads around here are ridiculously quiet. Over the next 11 kilometres or so, I'll be going from 375 metres up to about 900 metres. Let's get going and see what today brings. Day 6 dawned cloudy but dry, and the day's hike took me from Maradi to a bivacco about 3 kilometres before San Benedetto in Alpe. I'd been advised the evening before to take an alternative route for the first 11 kilometres and started the day with easy road walking. Rejoining the main trail at Passo dell'Ermo, we also rejoined the mud and wet paths, but ultimately nothing too challenging. Glorious woodland and sweeping views were round every bend, and the rain of the previous 3 days was just a memory by lunchtime. By late afternoon, I reached the river and falls of Acquachetta, mentioned by Dante in the Inferno, where he writes, "Its tranquil name up there is Acquachetta, but then, on flowing to its lower bed at Forlì, it assumes a different mode and thunders here in one great bound above San Benedetto in Alpe." And it was indeed a sight to see and hear. I arrived in the late afternoon at the Bivacco Cadel Rospo, where I spent the night, with only the darkness, the river, and the wildlife for company. Done about half the road walking now, just having a little bit of a sit down and a drink. It's a pretty easy gradient, nothing too difficult, and we are in essence paralleling the actual route. At the moment it's the other side of the ridges off to my left. So I reckon probably another hour 10, hour 20, and I should be at the point where I can rejoin the actual route. about a kilometre and a bit in along the actual path, and I have to say that I'm pretty glad that I wasn't doing this for the first 12 kilometres. The paths are pretty muddy in most places. The bit I'm on at the moment is pretty dry, but the big challenge has been the uphill sections, especially when they're steeper, because you're just slipping and sliding all the way along. Once I've summited the peak here, I believe that quite a lot of the way after that is downhill, so I'm assuming that we're going to be enjoying the downhills as much as we've been enjoying the uphills, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. Just enjoying the peace and the tranquility and the serenity of this right now. Just me, water, birds. It's gorgeous. Here we are, the highest point of the Cammino di Dante on the way into Florence from Ravenna. Poggio Fontanace, 1,101 metres, and it's a bit, well, it's very hazy, a little bit overcast. The sun is trying, but it's a beautiful hiking day. It's very serene. Very calm here. I have about 4 kilometres left to hike today. I'm staying in a bivacco just after the waterfalls, which I'll get to in a couple of kilometres. I'm going to try and not get there too early. It's actually on the route of quite a popular day hike, and obviously it's Good Friday today, and it's a holiday. So I just want to be sure that most people have sort of been visited and left, so that I don't get disturbed once I arrive. So as you can see, it's incredibly hazy. The sound that you can hear ahead is the waterfalls of Acquacheta, which we're heading towards, so we should get some fantastic views of that with all the rain that we've had the last few days. And it should be a very, very full waterfall. Just when I was walking down, there was a young family, mum, dad and a kid, walking towards the waterfall, and they asked me how far it was. I said, well, from here it's about half an hour. It's already 5:30, so there's no way they would have made it to the waterfall, back to here, and back to wherever they've parked, which is probably another, I would guess, at least another hour walk. So they carried on walking, and then about 5 minutes after I got to the bivacco, saw them walking past, and I sort of said hello. Looked a bit sheepish. I think the mum had put her foot down. And there we have a little bivacco. It's my home for the night, built in 1897, I notice. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Please do like and subscribe, it really helps the channel grow.